Hey guys, Mike here. So Cathie Wood and Ark Invest has managed to do something that I honestly didn't think I would see. It's really surprising to where things are. And I don't know about you, but every week or month that goes by, I just keep thinking to myself, I can't scratch my head more and more of what her and her team are doing, the moves they are making, and what they're doing with the money, the hard-earned money people have earned to pile in her ETFs, right? And understand, this is nothing personal. I've never owned a single fund she has, so I didn't get to enjoy the ride up. I didn't get to cry on the way down, which is still going down. I own maybe a few stocks she's ever owned, and also appreciate her for the open source of the information, the fact she does share all her purchases and stuff, which allows us to look at this and just think, my God, what are you doing? Like, it's just stunning, which is what I'm gonna get into in this video with you. You may be unaware of. But it's, everybody knows about the fall. And I'm going to show you a chart I actually put together, and I was playing around with it, didn't know this would work, and it did. And, so from here on out, you can actually say you've got to witness a .com crash, whether you lived through the first one or even was old enough to remember it. Now, I'm going to show that to you, and it's stunning when you see this chart. And I did find something on Twitter, and I saw this, and this is like if you bought into Ark in March of 2020 and you say you've held the whole time, and let us know in the comments if you're one of those folks. To me, this signifies the ride right here, and it's so accurate. And maybe I'm wrong, right? I mean, was that not accurate? Is that what it's felt like if you've held this whole time as it continues to go down as I'm recording this right now with the markets? But what, is stunning is right now, as of, I think it was yesterday when it officially happened, I believe, the S&P has officially eclipsed ARK's performance over the last 5 years. I mean, look at that. So the S&P is up 68%, ARK's up 49%, so about 18%. And you can see right there where Ark had fell below it yesterday, so it probably happened a few days ago. But that's just stunning. And by the way, if you get something out of this, please hit that like and subscribe button, guys. Share the video. I really appreciate that. And just to show you what I was talking about by the .com bubble effect, or what you've actually got to witness here, check this chart out. So this is ARK right here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy these candlesticks right here, this pattern of the rise and the fall of ARK. And then we'll go in here and I'm going to pull up the NASDAQ, and then we're going to go ahead and actually paste this right here over the 2000 to 2002 .com bubble. And we'll see, as you can see right here, it matches up almost perfect. I mean, it's not, totally perfect, but man, it's about as close as you can get to matching right here, right? So we're going to paste it in. I'm going to go ahead and just pull it down. You can see I hadn't adjusted anything. I'm just literally laying it over. And look at that right there. Again, not 100% perfect, but man, and if you look, it didn't stop. That's where they're at now. But if we actually scroll over a little bit, you can see there was more fall to come for the NASDAQ. And right now, as again, Cathie Woods is already knocked out 2019, 20, 21 gains already. And you can see, what is that? It's like another 25% that index fell. And I'm hoping that doesn't happen. Obviously, I don't want to see the fund or especially the NASDAQ or anything else go down another 25%. Most likely that's in the card at some point in time this year. But what's mind-boggling, and this is where, if I get passionate about it, it's not a personal thing, it's just, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result, right? And she's been out here doing all these press conferences and interviews and saying, hey, you know what? it's going to be a bad year. The Fed's going to run us into a recession. That's bad for, growth stocks, all the stuff, the kind of stocks she actually invests in, right? And what drives me nuts is I see these purchases every day right here. And you can see them right here. No matter what you're looking at. And what's she doing? Selling Tesla, buying DraftKings, selling Tesla, buying Robinhood, selling Tesla, buying Coinbase, selling Tesla, buying all these different kind of companies, you can see as we scroll through this right here. And what's so crazy about that is, I can understand selling Tesla, you're only winning stock so far, and when it's going up, because you don't want it to be more than 10% of your portfolio. But it's been going down since earnings, and she keeps on selling it. She sold $12 million worth of shares the other day just to buy $6 million of GM. And there you go. I did a video about that a while back, right? And guess what? If you're shocked then, yes, she made her purchase of GM. When she's researching, even though she's trashed those kind of companies in the past, all of a sudden she owned one, right? Got out of China stocks. Now she's back in them with Neo and XPeng and stuff. As far as I know, she still has that. And so, it's just one of those things where it's like, what are you doing? And then here's the worst. Why would you purchase? You've seen what's going on. It's a slaughterhouse out there this earnings season, right? You are seeing stocks go down so fast. 30 to 40%, just like that. As soon as they downgrade their guidance, gone. Falls off a cliff. And what does she do? You don't have to do this. She purchases, she loads up before earnings on some of these companies. She's buying them, keep buying them. You don't have to do that. She can have her placeholders. She's held Apple, she's had Disney, all these different stocks because she can't hold cash, but she can put them in there. And yes, are they going down? Yes, but nowhere near at the pace of some of these companies like Coin, right? And Unity and all these stocks she keeps buying up before earnings. If you want a dollar cost average in, wait till after earnings. You know what's going to happen. What has been happening? If you got companies like Amazon and Netflix and Google and Tesla who actually have a lot of cash, who are profitable, right? Making money, conglomerates, and they're getting hammered after their earnings and will continue to get hammered, what does that tell you that's going to happen to any fintech, to any software company that has to downgrade on their earnings, or God forbid they miss too, right? It's going to get crushed. So why would you purchase before earnings? If you want DCA in, fine. Wait till after earnings. In this environment, do you really think, have you seen any stocks take off? I mean, I haven't seen any. Like where? Why would you do that? And you can see that those dates and those purchases I just showed you, you saw it. Those were in the last week, for crying out loud, or a week or two. So you see it. You know what's happening. We know what's going to happen, right? And you wait and you look at this mess. I mean, this is her top 10 right here, right? She holds. And I can't wait for Zoom earnings, by the way. I mean, hopefully the market's going up for them because it's still heading south crashing. God help them. But, you just look at a few of these. You got Teladocs, Roku, not so bad. Coinbase, oh my God, that's been a just disastrous. Block, which I hold. I'm a bag holder on that one for sure. But she has it. Twilio. And you just look at what happens on these stocks that have report earnings. Just the other day, Unity, boom, look what happened. It's down 30%, actually more than that as I record this, in 24 hours. Coinbase is an absolute train wreck, down 60% in the last 5 days, down 31% in the last 24 hours. And I showed you where she was purchasing them leading up to this, right? Then, God, we all know what's going on with Teladocs. Below 30. Below 30. Look at that. Drops 40% on earnings. Of course, what you do, never fails. And here's the thing. If you're going to load up, that's the time to load up. A lot of people were shocked she bought a bunch more Teladocs. I was not. But if you're going to DCA in, that's the time to DCA in when you get a 40% drop if you plan on holding the stock. Shopify is another one. I don't really understand these purchases at all in Shopify. But there it is. Boom. Down 18% in the last 5 days, 46% in the last month, got crushed on earnings. And so when it comes to the Teladoc purchase, right? I mean, I agree with it, but that's the best time of DCA in, right? And I don't agree with selling Tesla to go in on that, but that's just what you decided to do. Okay, that makes sense. But trying to lead up to earnings and just buy, boom, and all these different stocks, it just I don't know. The definition of insanity, doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. Like you can't see that coming, and if your team can't see it coming, that's a problem because I know you saw it coming. I could see it coming. Why? Because we just saw what's been happening over the last 4 weeks, right? I mean, fintech's getting destroyed. Mega cap tech's getting destroyed. and they're profitable and got more money than they know what to do with. You know, so that's the problem with me. The other thing is, when I was talking about her team and her research, look, I'm 100% genomics and you know, AI and all this stuff. It is the future. There's no doubt about that, right? But the problem is what her research doesn't acknowledge, and I'm sure she knows this is, you know, because she's put a lot of money in the genomics sector, and understand those stocks they've been just wiped out. They are trading below like cash value right now. It's insane. So somebody who does buy into them and is very patient, because God knows how long it's going to take, you know, can make a lot of money. There's no doubt about it. But the problem is, as far as those companies producing profits and coming through what they say they can come through with, is you have to remember, in this country, what is our healthcare system? It is for profit. Where is the money? In a cure or a treatment? It's in treatment, right? Hip replacements, knee replacements, all that stuff. You know, treating cancer, all these different diseases, treating AIDS. Have you not seen all the medication, all over the TVs for that kind of stuff? And so if you cure something, sure, one company who has the patent will be able to get a lot of money for that cure, but all these other companies are like, wait a minute, all this money we're getting paid, all your treatments just goes away. And a lot of people don't realize this, but we talk about big pharma all the time. The medical device industry dwarfs big pharma, okay? That's just the way it is. They're like the daddy, and big pharma is like the child. I mean, it's unbelievable how big it is. And, you know, they own the right people, lock, stock, and barrel. Those people that make laws and all that good stuff and policies, right? And so that's the problem with it, is like, yes, I agree with the research that this needs to happen, but it's no different than what Tesla went through for years. Tesla never had any ground or gained any ground in the industry until they started suing state legislatures and the federal government and started spending millions lobbying. And it took a long time to do it, okay? But then once those laws and policies started getting changed and all that stuff started happening, yay! But do you really think these genomics companies, which depend on people to really donate to them anyway, have the kind of money like Tesla and Elon Musk had to make that fight? Maybe. But until, you know, you change from having all the money in not treatment, but for the cure instead, you know, where is that going to go? Don't mean the stocks can't go up, right? Because they've gone up dramatically, making no money, pretty much, right? But odds are eventually, you know, especially in a market like we're going to be in for the next little while here, where profits matter, that's a problem. That's a problem. And so, you know, that's something to look at. That's where I say, and so it's like AI and stuff. And she always talks about the tractor and the mule and how it's replaced, and all of a sudden now you got assembly lines. Well, that's great. But you don't think the government looks at that and says, wait a minute, back then we were a growing economy. You know, we're not anymore. And guess what, when we created the tractor and everything else, yeah, but it wasn't an autonomous tractor. It didn't drive itself. We had people to drive those tractors, and it wasn't autonomous assembly lines. We had people on the assembly lines. What do you see happening now, right? I always say, ask any employee who used to work on an assembly line for Ford or GM. What happened to their job? What job was created when they got replaced by a robot? No job. They were out there picketing, okay? And hopefully they got another job. But if you replace all the 18-wheeler drivers with, you know, autonomous vehicles, where are those people going to go? Right? That's the question. What job is being invented then? Where? All the taxi cab drivers, where are they going to go? Because we're going to have autonomous taxis, right? And so that's just my question, putting it out there. But, you know, it's hard for companies to really start to produce revenues and profits and be successful if the rules and policies and laws are kind of against them, right? If the whole system's against them, it's kind of tough. So I'm just putting that out there. Not saying it's not going to happen, but you have to me, that needs to be acknowledged in their research. I'm sure they know that because they are very intelligent people, you know, and so that's where I'm at on this. For me, and I may sound passionate about it, maybe I get a little too over passionate, but when I see, it feels like sometimes she literally is taking people's hard-earned money and just shoveling it into the furnace, just burning it up, right? When she buys in before these earnings calls, right? And the stock drops 30, 40%, 60%. I mean, good Lord, you know, and there's no end in sight. I mean, we're going to have, you know, bear market rallies, but even she said the Fed's going to drive us into a recession. And after the CPI data today, they're going to have to keep raising interest rates. There's no doubt about it, right? Still hadn't peaked like everybody thought it was going to do, you know, and so still rising, and so it's just a mess. And that's kind of where I'm at. I'm going to leave it there. Let me know what you think in the comments. Like, again, I can be crazy. They won't offend me a bit if I am. That is what it is. But, you know, that's where I'm coming from with it. And so hopefully you got something out of it. Hit the like, subscribe button if you did. I really appreciate that, guys. And I'll see you tomorrow.